So they gave us two situations. They gave us sin theta is equals to 4/5 and cos theta is greater than 0. So this is the first situation, and it is having theta. And the second one, they said and cos beta is equals to -12/13, and theta 0 is less than beta, which is less than 180, right? So what we do, we draw a Cartesian plane, right? So you can draw two separate Cartesian plane, or you can draw on the same Cartesian plane. It depends on what you want, right? So let's see the first situation that they gave us. So this on a Cartesian plane will seem something like that. So they say sin theta is greater than 0. Can you see that this is positive, right? And you know that sin is positive in the first and second quadrant. And the restriction that they gave us, they said cos theta is greater than 0 as well. And you know that cos theta is greater than 0 in the first and fourth quadrant. So it means that the first quadrant is satisfying both needs, right? So we can draw this in the first quadrant like that, right? So that will be our theta, and our y will be equals to 4, so that's 4, and our hypotenuse will be equals to 5. So you need to find the value of x there. So using Pythagoras, you know that x squared plus y squared is equals to r squared, right? So now our x squared will be equals to our r squared, which is 5 squared, minus our y squared, which is 4 squared. So it means that our x squared is equals to 9, and the square root, our x will be equals to plus or minus 3. But since in the first quadrant x is positive, so it means that we are just going to take the positive one, and this will be our 3. So it means that we are done with the first situation, right? So now let's go to the second situation, that is saying cos beta is equals to -12/13. So this is negative. So it means that where is cos negative? In the second and third quadrant, right? And the next thing they said, but this should run from 0 to 180. So 0 to 180. So is this one or there? So we know that this is satisfying both needs. So it means that we can draw this in the second quadrant like that, right? So what do we have? So we're having beta as our angle, and they said it is equals to -12/13. So we know that cos is x over r, so this our x will be -12 and our r will be 13. I said r will never be negative, right? So it means that now in this situation we can find the value of y, because we don't have, right? Again, we use Pythagoras, so we know that x squared plus y squared gives us r squared, right? So our y squared will become 13 squared minus 12 squared, right? So this will be our y squared being the same as 25. So square root, our y will be equals to plus or minus 5. Now we check in this second quadrant, is our y positive or negative? Our y is positive, so this becomes positive 5 like that. Now we are done with the drawing of this. Now let's solve for what they want. They say they need cos beta minus theta, right? So we can come and say, okay, they need cos of theta, beta. So this is cos of beta minus theta. And we check there. Where is cos this minus that? So we can have this situation. So this is the same as cos of beta, cos of theta plus sin of beta, sin of theta, right? And now we take a look at our situation. What is the value of cos beta? Cos beta is adjacent over hypotenuse, so that's -12/13. And then cos of theta is adjacent over hypotenuse, so that's a 3 out of a 5. And sine of beta will be the opposite over the hypotenuse, so that's a 5 over a 13. And the sine of theta is opposite over that, so that's a 4 over a 5, right? So now we can evaluate this. So negative 12 multiplied by 3, that's a negative 36. And a 13 multiplied by a 5, that's a 65. And then plus 5 multiplied by 4, that's a 20. And that's a 65 as well. So that would be all over 65. And negative 36 plus 20, that's negative 16. So answer will be negative 16 over 65 is our final answer. Can you see how we did that? As easy as that. So now you know how to apply this. So this can also come in a sense of